You said no to something last week. One word. That's all it took. And for the rest of the day, you replayed it in your head like you'd committed a crime, wondering if you should text back and change your answer, wondering if they were mad, wondering if you were now, officially, a bad person. You can say no to things and still feel guilty for hours afterward, even when the answer was completely reasonable, even when you had every right to say it, even when, if a friend told you the exact same story, you'd tell them without hesitation that they did nothing wrong. But when it's you, the guilt shows up anyway, uninvited, and it doesn't seem to care how justified your no actually was. Here's the line worth staying for. Guilt isn't proof that you did something wrong. Sometimes it's just proof that you did something unfamiliar. Part 1. Guilt isn't a moral compass here. You've probably been taught to treat guilt as information, a signal that you crossed a line. But guilt isn't always accurate. Sometimes it's not measuring right and wrong. It's measuring familiar versus unfamiliar. If saying yes is what you've always done, then saying no, even when it's completely healthy, is going to trigger the same alarm bells as actually doing something wrong. Your body can't always tell the difference. Part 2. Where the alarm got installed. This usually traces back to somewhere specific, a relationship, a household, a stage of life where saying no had real consequences. Maybe no led to someone's mood shifting. Maybe no meant losing approval you badly needed. So your brain built a simple rule to keep you safe. Agreement equals connection. Refusal equals risk. That rule made sense once. It's just still running, decades later, in situations that were never actually dangerous to begin with. Here's a line worth sitting with. Your guilt isn't broken. It's just still protecting you from a threat that isn't in the room anymore. Part 3. What saying yes actually costs you. Every yes you give out of guilt instead of choice quietly teaches the people around you that your no can be worn down if they just wait long enough. It's not their fault. They don't know what's happening inside you. But it does mean the guilt isn't just uncomfortable. It's actively shaping how people treat your boundaries, one guilty yes at a time. The honest twist. Here's the part that might be hard to hear. Saying yes when you mean no was never actually about protecting the relationship. It was about protecting yourself from a feeling, the discomfort of someone being disappointed in you, which means the guilt was never really about them at all. It was about how unbearable it's always felt to let anyone down, even when letting them down was completely reasonable. What to do about it? You don't need to become someone who says no easily overnight. That's not realistic, and it's not the goal. Start by separating the guilt from the decision. The next time you say no and the guilt shows up, don't argue with it or try to push it away. Just name it out loud, even quietly to yourself. This is old guilt, not new evidence. That single sentence does something important. It stops you from treating every uncomfortable feeling as proof you made the wrong call. Guilt was never supposed to be the thing running your decisions. It was supposed to be information, not the final word. You're allowed to feel it, and still trust that your no was okay. If you've ever said no and spent the rest of the day feeling like you owed someone an apology for it, tell me in the comments, what's the hardest no you've ever had to give? And if this made you feel a little less crazy for feeling that guilt, subscribe. This is the exact kind of thing I make videos about.